Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. Yesterday we had the Bad Batch Season 3 Episode 4, A Different Approach, and my full episode breakdown is out now. And while I do have more Bad Batch videos in the upcoming days, today we're going to be focusing on some live action stuff. We're going to begin with Ahmed Best, who has seemingly teased a Star Wars return not as Kellerin Beck, but as Jar Jar Binks, the classic role he played in The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. While nothing is confirmed at this stage, this does come as some very surprising news. In a new Instagram post, the Star Wars actor who Dave Filoni called a fundamental part of the Lucasfilm family shared an image of himself donning a mocap suit. As is known from his time in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, Best is no stranger to the motion capture process. What makes the post all the more intriguing is the caption. Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in, and this is accompanied by a list of hashtags, the ones of note being hashtag Jar Jar Binks and hashtag Sith Lord. This of course being an allusion to the Darth Jar Jar joke, which for the record Ahmed Best in the past has said he didn't agree with, but now, in a very tongue-in-cheek way, he's leaning into it. But the fact he's doing motion capture, and with an explicit Jar Jar Binks hashtag, what is he suggesting? Are we gonna see Jar Jar return, maybe in The Mandalorian and Grogu? On top of whatever this is for, I'm sure we're going to see Ahmed Best return as Kellerin Beck to complete the Grogu flashback, maybe in animated form in Tales of the Jedi, or perhaps, as I say in The Mandalorian and Grogu. But there is something that suggests this could be for an untitled Star Wars game, an upcoming project being worked on by Activision, because the actor does use the game publisher as one of the aforementioned hashtags. Some have suggested this could be for work on the game South of Midnight, but the Activision hashtag doesn't make any sense. And on top of this, why would he have put all of the Star Wars hashtags? Maybe it's because being in Star Wars was one of the biggest parts of his career, and he puts it for pretty much everything. But the Jar Jar hashtag is certainly raising a few eyebrows, so let's wait and see. If he is returning as the fan favourite Gungan, this would no doubt be a surprise to be sure, and a welcome one, in the year that the Phantom Menace turns 25. Then again, any project this is for isn't going to be for another couple of years, at the very earliest. Much of the life of Jar Jar Binks after Return of the Jedi is undocumented. We do know from Chuck Wendig's Empire's End, Jar Jar was again disgraced and exiled from the Gungan community after they believed he was inadvertently complicit for the Empire's rise to power. He returned to Naboo as a street performer and took under his wing a young boy named Mappo to become his apprentice and taught him to become a street performer like him. But we've not seen him on screen in a very, very long time. And so now, my dear friends, staying on the same subject, The Mandalorian and Grogu has now got a working title as revealed by bestmanbulletin.com. Now this is one of those instances where we know the final title, The Mandalorian and Grogu, but we didn't have a working title until now. And it's a reference to the old expanded universe, what Disney likes to call Star Wars Legends. And I know some fans really don't like that appellation, so we'll just call it the expanded universe. But anyway, Bespin said this. The next Star Wars theatrical release is the Jon Favreau-led movie, and is going to begin filming on June 17th. With this in mind, more news on production will likely arise. It was just a few days ago when Deadline revealed The Mandalorian and Grogu was going to receive $21.7 million in Californian tax credits. And now a new report by Cosmic Circus has revealed the working title codename of the movie. So what is it? Thunder Rally. Just for reference, Obi-Wan Kenobi was Joshua Tree, Ahsoka was Stormcrow, and amongst The Mandalorian's first 3 seasons, we've had working titles like Huckleberry and Buccaneer. And now we know The Mandalorian and Grogu's codename is Thunder Rally. As mentioned in the report by Cosmic Circus and corroborated by Bespin Bulletin, the codename has featured in a Star Wars novel before, the Expanded Universe book Before the Storm. Thunder Rally was a region of space, along New Republic borders, that several fleets rotated to patrol. In 16 ABY, just before the Black Fleet crisis, the Second Fleet had been patrolling Thunder Rally the longest of the fleets, without home service and shipyard services. Admiral Akbar convinced Chief of Staff Leia Organa to pull the Second Fleet out and replace it with the First Fleet, which had been serving as Coruscant's defense force during that time. Based on this name alone, unsurprisingly, we're probably getting a lot more New Republic as they began to explore in Ahsoka and Mando Season 3. More Mon Mothma, more Carson Tava, and possibly a cameo from Leia. Don't know how they're gonna do it, whether it's Carrie Fisher's daughter, a lookalike, or they use CG and deepfake for a brief cameo just like they did for Luke. Now in the same report, Cosmic Circus revealed the title of the Rey movie by Sharmina Bechanoy. They claim it's going to be called A New Beginning, but journalist Jordan Mason has debunked it. He reached out to Lucasfilm for comment, and they said categorically, this is incorrect. The Rey movie has a working title of New Jedi Order, but nothing in the way of an official title when the movie releases, later in 2026. And contrary to some other rumours, it's not going to sport the title Episode 10. It's not a direct continuation from The Rise of Skywalker. 15 years have passed. Anything concerning movie titles and rumours are all hearsay at this point. It's too early to have anything solid. But I will say, Lucasfilm have debunked Episode 10 A New Beginning. Apparently that is not what they're going with. And many fans who didn't like this name are certainly going to be very relieved. And so finally, my dear friends, mere days after the rumour that we're getting a Mandalorian first-person shooter game, according to a new report from Respawn via IGN.com, it's already been cancelled, and was a real game set to be developed. More cutbacks and more cancellations. Here's what they said. EA's business priorities are going to shift, and this includes the unfortunate announcement that EA is shutting down the first-person shooter game that was rumoured to be centred around a new protagonist in the world of The Mandalorian. Not necessarily Din Djarin, but it is a game Mandalorian fans were very much excited about. And this is just one in a string of cancellations that we've seen in recent times. They did provide some somewhat good news though. The sequel to Jedi Survivor, the third installment of the Jedi games, is on track to be developed on time. But as for this first-person shooter Mando game, it's not very good. With a Mandalorian movie in the works, I don't think Lucasfilm should let this opportunity and idea go. I think given the popularity of the Disney Plus show, one would assume a video game based around the series would do quite well. But reflecting on the first-person shooter, they said this: it's always hard to walk away from a project, and this decision is not a reflection on the team's talent, tenacity, or passion they had for the game. Giving fans the next installments of the iconic franchises they want is the definition of blockbuster storytelling and the right place to focus. Not much was known about the Star Wars first-person shooter. I understand there are reasons why this might be the case, why they had to cancel it, but it's just an ongoing trend, and Star Wars gamers have been let down more than most aspects of this franchise in recent years. Yes, we look forward to the sequel to Jedi Survivor, and of course Star Wars Outlaws, but this is pretty disappointing, and it makes sense how we never had an official announcement, and now it's been cancelled. But share your thoughts on everything we spoke about in the comments down below, guys. What do you think of the Mandalorian news? Do you want to see Jar Jar Binks return? And how do you feel about the cancellation of this game? And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you, always.